UFC Des Moines, this is Makai's Money Making Plays. We're going to start the video off with the lock of the week. We're going to move on to my most confident picks on the card, my favorite underdogs, and then we'll finish the video off with the parlays. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. So to recap last week's lock of the week, we went with Abus, cashed us out. Fight wasn't really entertaining, but, he came through, did enough on the scorecards, got us the win, cashed us with another savage underdog lock. So I'm definitely trying to keep the ball rolling with that. This week, a lot of the lines on this card were very disgusting, but I found some value. I found somebody that I'm going to lock up. I think you guys are going to like this one as well. Like I said, it was kind of hard to find some value on this card. I found someone who the public has clearly mispriced. The line has flipped completely from when it opened to now, and I think everybody's going to regret it. So without further ado, here's this week's lock of the week.
Babyface killer, Cameron Smotherman.
Cameron Smotherman, money line, plus 125, lock of the week. It's kind of crazy because actually when this line opened, he was the favorite, minus 160, and then it completely flipped to plus money. Series City, he's good, but he's also a prospect. I just don't believe he's the better striker out of the two. He also opened as a plus 130 favorite. Now he's sitting at a a plus 130 underdog. Now he's sitting at a minus 135 favorite. Clearly the public does not know, who to pick in this battle. It is a prospect fight, but I believe Cameron Smotherman is the better fighter. When you look at them in the pocket, I believe Cameron Smotherman has the more dangerous weapons, in tight. He is at a reach disadvantage, but Series City is not, afraid to enter the pocket, and he's going to enter with some consequences. He was getting boxed up in his last fight against Garrett Armfield. He lost to Ramon Tavares after he won on the Contender Series, but he has an issue with shorter fighters, ones that like to, fight in the pocket. He is a long-rangey guy, but he likes to leave his hands up. He has this high guard. He likes to leave his body open. Cameron Smotherman is going to rip a lot of body shots. Trust me. He can counter the reach by, creating wrestling opportunities. I believe Series City likes to, throw these long teep kicks down the middle. I can see Cameron Smotherman catching one of them, tying him up, forcing the issue to bring the fight to the mat. Series City is still dangerous off of his back. He will throw up a few submissions, but I believe Cameron Smotherman will have, a lot of control there and throw down some big shots that Series is not going to like. So I think Cameron Smotherman is a better grappler, and City is arguably coming off of a 2-fight losing streak. Garrett Armfield win. It was it was very controversial. If you watch the fight again, he pretty much lost rounds 2 and 3. The only round I clearly gave him was the first round. He was, allowing himself to be taken down. Yes, he was throwing up submissions, but Garrett Armfield was still controlling him for a majority of the fight. He didn't throw enough, shots, like ground and pound shots to clearly secure it, but he still garnered enough control time, and he was winning majority of the striking exchanges on the feet. I believe Cameron Smotherman has a power advantage, and he has better straight shots. And City, he likes to bite, he bites on a lot of feints, and I believe that's going to open up the right hand for Cameron Smotherman. He's going to be setting it up. Look for him to set it up around, later in the first round, but second round, I believe, is when he'll start letting it go. Smotherman, he also has, really good fight adjustments, and I like his vision as well, so he'll be able to see, a lot of those long shots coming. He has a really good pace, and I like his patience as well. And he's going to take the center of the octagon, which will force Series City on the outside, and he's going to have to, pick and stab for the entire fight. I don't believe Series City is a type of fighter that can win a fight, mainly doing that. As you can see, he likes to, grapple a lot, and that, in my opinion, lost him the Garrett Armfield fight, and he lost the Ramon Tavares fight doing that. So Cameron Smotherman, lock of the week. I am super confident in this young man. I think he's going to get it done. I believe it'll go scorecards. It will be a close fight, but I'm leaning on Cameron Smotherman. Line right now is actually at plus 115, so clearly some money coming in on him. Really like this guy for lock of the week. Now, let's move to the most confident picks. Starting it off, we got Mason Jones, minus 550, big favorite. Jeremy Stevens signed a one-off. I don't really like guys that sign. I don't really like guys that. I don't really like guys that sign one-off contracts. Jeremy Stevens is, what is he, 40 years old now? He's not going to come back and knock out Mason Jones. Mason Jones has been on a tear in Cage Warriors. He's younger, more athletic. I believe he has the power edge. And as we clearly see, BKFC guys just don't have it anymore. BKFC is completely different than MMA. So he can do his thing over in BKFC, but he's coming back to the Sharks. Mason Jones is going to chop that leg up. He hasn't felt that in a while. So very confident in Mason Jones. Next up, we got Corey Sandhagen, minus 480, or excuse me, he's ballooned up to minus 525 favorite, actually. I don't really like this line. I think it should be a little closer, maybe like 2-1, but I am confident that Corey Sandhagen probably wins this on the scorecards. He's just too tricky for Deiveson Figueiredo, and I feel like Deiveson is going to be sorry, I just had a brain fart. He's going to be following him around the cage for a majority of the fight. Corey, he can wrestle, he can strike from the outside, he can get in the pocket if he wants to. He's going to be very tricky for Deiveson Figueiredo, and not to say that Deiveson hasn't seen anyone like this before, but coming off that Peter Yan loss, he looked very well, but I feel as though Corey Sandhagen is going to have a lot of the same success. His boxing isn't as good as Peter Yan, but like I said, he can mix it up very well, and that will give Deiveson Figueiredo some trouble. Next up, we got Bo Nickel. He is sitting at minus 340 now. I think he's going to knock Rainer DeRitter's head off. I'm pick flipping, if you guys don't know. I did pick originally Rainer DeRitter, but I was trying to sell myself on a submission, and it's not going to happen. He said he's going to force the wrestling. You're not forcing the wrestling with Bo Nickel. And if you do, you're going to end up on your back, and you're going to get your face smashed off. So, Bo Nickel, clear favorite in this one. I am pick flipping, just to let you guys know again. And to wrap it up, we're going with Jillian Robertson. She is sitting at minus 300. I believe she finds a submission in this match. Marina Rodriguez, she lacks takedown defense. She lacks the ability to get up, and Jillian Robertson is going to control her, and I'm pretty sure she'll find a neck or maybe even an arm bar. Probably round 2, early round 3. Marina Rodriguez does have some pretty good striking, but Jillian Robertson, she'll be able to take her down. She likes to, overextend her combinations at times, and that will leave room for Jillian Robertson to take her down. Moving on to the favorite underdogs, we are going to start it with this one. I mean, it's coin flip, minus 105, Daniel Rodriguez. Santiago Ponzinibbio sitting at minus 115. But I do believe D-Rod has more left in the gas tank. If you look at the Ponzinibbio fight, or his last fight against Carlson Harris is a very awkward striker. He is not going to be ripping, straight shots down the middle, 1-2s. D-Rod's boxing is pretty crisp. He did have a little bit of trouble with Alex Morono, but I weigh Alex Morono in higher regard than I do Carlson Harris at this point. And I believe Carlson Harris just retired after that knockout loss as well. Ponzinibbio does still have some power, but he's going to be winging a lot of big shots, walking all around the cage. D-Rod is a lot crisper. I know they're both, in their 40s, but I lean Daniel Rodriguez here. I like his striking a lot better. He's more calculated, and I may lean power to him as well. No, Ponzinibbio has the power, but he doesn't have the accuracy on the shots to, make it count. D-Rod, he'll be, ripping those straight shots, and he might even sit Santiago down with like a 1-2. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not impressed with Ponzinibbio, his last win or his last fight, so clearly picking D-Rod here. And I'm going with Daniel Marcos. He is sitting at plus 171. This is a very tricky fight, and it's a very daring pick for me as well. But I believe Daniel Marcos has, the striking acumen to hang in there with Montel Jackson. I know he's coming off of that, rapid knockout over Damon Blackshear, but I feel as though Daniel Marcos has seen, a variety of different strikers, and I believe his takedown defense is going to hold up as well in this fight. He is, a shorter fighter. He's got less reach, but I think Daniel Marcos, he does plant his feet when he throws his strikes, but when he lands, it has a lot of consequences. And I feel as though Montel Jackson, he might try to grapple in this fight. And I could see Daniel Marcos letting some big knees go in the pocket. He's probably going to be ripping the body. He's going to chop those legs. Montel Jackson, his lead leg is there to be chopped. So I believe Daniel Marcos will win this on the scorecards. It will be a very close fight, and I would like to see how he handles the speed of Montel Jackson. But there are a lot of different ways to counter speed with guys who are long as well. So very interesting fight. I do understand why he is a plus 170 underdog, but I like Daniel Marcos in this fight. I think he's going to be able to pull it off. Now heading over to Makai's money making plays, the parlays. We are starting with Bo Nickel, Mason Jones, Jillian Robertson money line. Get you about plus 110. This is just my most confident picks. I'm going to lay them all up. Why not? I believe all three of them are going to win. So let's go with that. Then we're moving on to D-Rod, Misha Tate, and Gaston Bolanos money line. I believe Misha Tate's wrestling is going to win her this fight. Yana Santos, her takedown defense is okay, but I feel as though Misha Tate will, eventually get her down, control her, and land some big shots, steal probably the first and the third round as well. And then Gaston Bolanos, I like his striking a lot more than Quang Lee, and I believe his takedown defense will, garner him some success in that fight as well. That gets you plus 484. Then we are going to Bo Nickel, TKO, Azamat Bakayev, TKO, and Thomas Peterson moneyline. I believe Azamat Bakayev is going to hunt Ryan Loder in this fight. I believe he has, the power, and I like his striking as well. He's got a lot of, he's got a larger fight history. He's 19-3. I don't think Ryan Loder is going to be able to, tie him up and grapple him for the entire 3 rounds. I feel as though Azamat Bakayev is going to be able to land something of consequence and get the knockout. And then Thomas Peterson, I like his striking a lot more than Dontel Mays. Dontel Mays is very lazy. He's very slow. And I feel as though he'll be able to time some key takedowns as well to win him that fight. And that gets you plus 556. Then we are going to the Yana Santos Misha Tate over 2.5, Mays Peterson over 2.5, and then Daniel Marcos by decision. That gets you plus 688. Then we're going with Mason Jones by knockout and Jillian Robertson by sub. These are my 2 favorite methods of victory for both of them. I believe they will come true, and that gets you plus 800. And then to cap it off, we are going with Corey Sandhagen and Cameron Smotherman inside the distance plus 1220. I believe both of these gentlemen have the capabilities of finishing the fight inside the distance. I think Corey's, wrestling is going to be a little tricky for Davidson. He might be hesitant on the feet as well. And I can see Corey possibly, faking a takedown, throwing the flying knee that he landed on Frankie Edgar, when he was on his rise. I can see something like that. Davidson, not to say he's slowing down, but he is 37. It could be, towards the end of the light for him. I don't think he's going to retire soon, but I do believe Corey he still has the faster twitch muscle in him. And then Cameron Smotherman, like I said, for the lock of the week, I believe he's going to land something of consequence. That right hand is going to be there for him. He's got a nasty straight right hand. And if he lands down in Seri City, who likes to keep his chin high, since he's, a taller fighter, taller fighters do like to do that a lot. I could see Cameron Smotherman letting it rip and putting Seri City's lights out. So that's it for Makai's money making plays this week. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did you like it the lock of the week? You tailing some of my parlays and my tripping with my most confident picks? Did you guys like the Rainer to Ritter pick flip? I do. I had to, I tried to sell myself on the submission, but it's not going to happen. And if it does, then I'm going to look like an idiot. But this is Makai's money making plays. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys for the weigh-in recap.